I'm gonna get done, and I am gonna. Wow, it's
right,
gonna.
well, we have 3 beers tonight to talk about, and Sean and I each have a cocktail to talk about. The 3 beers we have this evening, we have the Six Bridges Brewing from Johns Creek, their Sour Continuum, which is a key lime Berliner Weiss.
There we
We
go.
also have the Space Lettuce from Monday Night Brewing. That is a double IPA. It's a nice big boy for us. We haven't had a nice big ABV beer in a while, so I got one for us. And then, of course, 'tis the season of Oktoberfest. We have Tucker Brewing Company's Tucktoberfest, the German-style Marzen that we'll finish with that with the beers tonight. And then we have a couple cocktails for later on as well.
I'm excited. Let's do it.
Yes. Hayley, you ready to drink some beer with us?
I am. I have some ideas on which one I'm gonna like the most, but I'm prepared to be surprised.
Oh, you should be, and and these are probably going to be good beers. I'm really looking forward to this Sour Continuum, and we're going to start with that one as well.
Yes.
So,
sweet.
Yeah.
This is the one.
How about that segue, huh?
Very smooth.
Anyway, so this one is from Six Bridges Brewing in Johns Creek. I did a small amount of research on the brewing. It's a father and son team that do the beer. And this beer, I'm very interested in how this is going to be. I feel like this is going to be a sour beer, but it's going to be like one of those that have like that kind of creaminess to it as well, because it is brewed with key lime juice, Madagascar vanilla bean, graham cracker, and milk sugar. So I feel like that milk sugar will give it a little bit of lactose to it. The color also I'm kind of wondering about what it's going to come out. But this one's 5%. All right. It looks like it's hazy, definitely cloudy. It kind of has that nose that kind of reminds me of like if you've ever drove out into the country in Florida, like with all the orange groves and
where all the meth is.
Where all the
that's what I'm out there for. What do you think, man?
You have very romantic memories of Florida, because I feel like it just smells like, to me, it smells like floating trash and salt water. But
Florida?
That is sour. I don't think it's trash water. It's actually pretty good. It's pretty tart.
No, this is good.
Yeah.
She meant Florida.
No. Oh, yeah.
That's an accurate assessment.
Yeah, the brackish. You smell
Right.
the.
What if there are a really large peninsula in the Hudson River? Florida.
See, but once you're in Florida, there's a certain point where you've been there, even if you're on vacation, where you've been there long enough where that brackish smell kind of just, you get used to it, and then you notice the other smells around there as well.
Sure, like when someone farts in a room.
Exactly. It's still there. It's still there. And you know it's yours, but is anybody else noticing it because no one said anything?
Did you fellas used to tour a lot back in the day?
No.
No.
Okay. Well, I tour a little bit as a comedian. I used to, at least. Remember the past?
Yeah.
But if you've traveled a lot, you'll start to really pick up on what smells are different places. And
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
And it's the thing is, I'm not, when I'm traveling, I'm not going to nice smelling places. I'm talking about Detroit.
Chicago.
Detroit was one of the most.
Chicago smell different than others.
Detroit was one of the most interesting smelling places because every block was like a different smell, and I was like, wow, regional neighborhood flavor. I get it now. Regional Georgia probably can top Florida anytime because it's got those chicken factory smells.
Yeah.
And you'll just be driving down the highway on a small stretch, and all of a sudden the whole place smells like farts, and you're like, wow, somebody grows up here and doesn't smell it anymore.
See, I grew up in Minnesota, and if you drive out in the country in Minnesota, you'll smell them all. The cows, the pigs, they all have their different smells.
So when you smell,
and then you pass a rendering plant, and that's like but anyway, back to the beer.
So does that remind you of home? Like when you smell pig shit, are you like, oh my God,
I'm back home.
Family, apple pie, America.
So the weird thing is after sipping this for a little bit, I don't know. I think it's just the tartness hitting my tongue. I feel like I'm starting to taste graham cracker.
Yeah, and that creaminess, like the whipped cream meringue, kind of melting away.
Yeah, this is weird. Good weird.
Yeah, like the sour bite is first, but then it softens up and.
Now, I'm prepared for this to make me sound dumb, but one thing I think I'm really appreciating about this is like where the bubbles are hitting. Is that crazy? I feel like It's got a really nice, like it's
like
not
a tighter, like a champagne almost, or like San Pellegrino or Perrier bubbles.
That's exactly it. It's it's later. It hits you later than something with a larger bubble would.
Oh, that's right on.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
is a solid assessment.
Yeah.
Mouthfeel, baby.
Mouthfeel is very important.
Let me go get my tool set again. That's refreshing, especially for like we're getting into the fall. Like this is still kind of refreshing and outdoorsy.
It's like the end of summer, something that's been put away until now.
I dig it.
Yeah, good stuff. Six Bridges Brewing in Johns Creek.
Good job, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. What?
So Hayley, tell us a little bit about yourself. What got you doing comedy? What made you think, hey, I want to be a stand-up comedian?
Well, I think it was a very natural conclusion for someone who thought they were hilarious, but also felt like nobody else got their personality. I think I was just a very weird kid, and I recognized that weirdness seemed to be something that was celebrated in people who did comedy. And I wanted that. But also, I think my family, and I'm Jewish, so there's a lot has been said about like what about our culture creates comedians, and it's just that at least in my family we were very much about the repartee and like fighting for attention and just kind of going back and forth with each other. So I developed like definitely an interest in being witty and being quick on my feet, and so doing improv, doing stand-up, writing sketch to kind of express things that I didn't otherwise get to express as well was a natural outlet for that as well.
That's
Cool.
actually I don't think this is you're our first comedian guest.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what answer to expect. That was very in depth, very thoughtful.
Well, I think you're gonna get a different answer from any comedian you talk to for sure. I think I'm a pretty nerdy comedian. Like I'm pretty heady amongst my friends, I would say. So that's what you can expect from me, at least.
I appreciate it. I think that's why you picked out really fine bubbles in a beer.
Yeah.
Detail.
I'm prepared for that to be the last good observation about a beer that I made. I really impressed myself on that one, and I was like, wow, I really contributed. Take a rest.
Nailed it.
Take a knee for the rest of the night.
Well, are you ready for more beer?
Yeah, we're gonna try a different one. We're gonna do the space lettuce. Space lettuce from
lettuce in space.
From Monday Night Brewing. Yeah, they have a lot of cool names. So this is one of their black tie series. They call that. So this is fancy. And this is 8.1%. And this one is made with Citra, Mosaic, and Simcoe hops, among others. They also add Pilsen and Munich style malts to this. So it kind of fits in with our Oktoberfest tradition.
Yeah, it's
season.
Like half hazy and kind of orangey.
Yeah, it's got some very interesting. It looks like a Pilsner.
It smells.
Lemony. It's got like.
Sure.
It's got some absolutely lemon. Like lemon hits me right in the face. Like when you cut open a lemon and that first bit of like.
I'm gonna be honest and it's not a bad thing, but it's that whole like smell reminds you of a certain point or memory. This smells like when my dad would irrigate his lawn right next to the Salt River in Arizona. He had like a little adobe house, and so like the Salt River is like one of the main sources of water besides Colorado River. So it's the only other river. He lived right next to it. Lived on power plant property, and you just open a thing, whole lawn would flood, and it smells like that water hitting the dead grass, hitting a lot of leaves. It sounds weird, but it really does smell like that.
No, I love that. Thanks for sharing that.
Smells like home.
Right.
I'm pig shit, Sean. You're this. So
right.
You know what? You might be doing better. You might be doing better than me.
This really does taste as if like you weren't paying attention, and instead of you thought you were grabbing an apple and you just bit into an orange. Like rind and all.
Like rind and all. Yeah.
Yeah.
This has definitely got some bitterness. This has got some fullness to this. This is big boy IPA. It is a double IPA, which means they overstuff it with ingredients, which, you know, double or more amount of all the ingredients. They just keep stuffing shit in there.
This bad boy, like
2 scoops, 2 scoops, man.
Yeah,
it's way sweeter than I expected it to be. Which, you know, this is where my lack of experience comes in. I know that not all IPAs are like super hoppy and bitter, but I hadn't had one that had this much sweetness throughout the entire. Like front to back, this much sweetness and fruitiness in an IPA is something I haven't experienced before.
But it's like bittersweet, like dark chocolate bittersweet.
Which I'm here for. Yeah.
Dark chocolate tastes good though.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, you don't like this? You don't like this?
No. So I was actually Hayley stole my thunder. I was going to say the same thing.
Well, step up your game.
Ditto.
I did this. You You better step up your game.
She steals it. No, so it's no, I was gonna say the same thing. Like I've been enjoying more how like double and triple IPAs use more malts to balance out, like, because otherwise it'd be too alcoholic, too hoppy. So they're like, no, we gotta sweeten it, and so you end up generally higher alcohol but a maltier product.
Yeah.
You know
Same
what?
thing. Same thing.
That's where you scooped me, though. I didn't put a finger on the malt aspect of it, but that's obviously.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of malts on this, and this is the one at a time kind of beer. This isn't the one that you're putting the 6-pack back on. If you can put a 6-pack down of one of these, then
you're gonna vomit. That's disgusting.
You'll have a tummy ache later. But
right.
This is good.
You also get a lot of weird Amazon packages on Tuesdays.
I do.
So this is what this reminds me of is one time I picked up my girlfriend from the subway. This is an ex, obviously, but she told me on MARTA she saw a guy eat a lemon whole. Like, just literally, he didn't take it in one bite. He bit into it and kept going. And that really captured my imagination. I don't know what kind of alien, like, pretending to be a human shit that is. But
there was this, I saw this little girl one time, and I was with her dad at her house. I don't even remember why I was there, but I was just, because the little girl ate onions, and I was like, hey, that's pretty good that she eats onions. It's like, oh, she'll sit down and eat them like an apple. And I'm like, oh, I'd like to see that. He gave her a full onion, and this like 3 or 4-year-old little girl just like right into the onion. And I'm like, what?
I love that her dad's breaking out the onion bowl like it's a party trick, too. Like, guys, watch what my kid will do.
I was like, oh, yeah, she loves him.
Can't get up. I'd always heard that was kind of like the marketing slogan for Vidalia onions was like, oh, so sweet. Like, you can just eat them like an apple. But
they are.
It's true.
They're really good.
Definitely.
I once took a white onion and did that like on a dare, like summer camp. I was like a junior counselor. Like, who would take a bite of this onion? It was like orientation, so they're trying to be like all fun and silly, and everyone's like, no, I don't want to take a bite of an onion. Like, right here. The only way to eat an onion, if you're going to eat one as an adult, is to make severe eye contact and just
do it.
I took the biggest bite I could manage. Should have peeled the skin off. Should have peeled the brown skin off.
Oh yeah, you got to do the paper off.
I didn't cry. I just muscled through it, and then set it down and said, "All right, what's next?"
More importantly, did you get the street cred you were hoping for?
I did, because it was a YMCA summer camp. So they're like, "This guy's in league with the devil." Like,
yeah, he's gonna be junior counselor before you know it.
Right. Then I had to scrub pots and pans till midnight. So I don't know if it actually worked.
And a YMCA is exactly the sort of place that would value doing that kind of dare, because there's that's another place that's full of smells. YMCA. Right when you come in the door, it's chlorine hits you. There's a hairy guy over there. There's onion vibes, I would say.
There's at least
the hairy guy smells like onions.
There's 4 or 5 old people in the pool.
Oh, tons of old people. It's where you'll see your first old genitals. Like, not your last though.
Well, I went to Catholic school.
Damn.
You don't want to know what goes on in the showers there at the YMCA's.
Got to hit those high notes.
You don't want to know.
I really don't.
And I used to teach dance at a YMCA. Now I think about it. Like, this is like 20 years later, or 10 years later after that. But
That's another thing you don't want to know is what goes on in a dance class at the YMCA.
What kind of dance? What kind of dance are we talking about?
Belly dance.
Shut up, really?
I feel like this is for post-show. We're talking too much about me now.
Did you come prepared, Sean, for a belly dancing round for us tonight?
There's a chain belt not too far away.
There we go.
Or coin belt,
There we go.
Oh, I know.
Virtual tips, everybody. Virtual tips.
Yeah,
sounds like time for another beer. Sean's gonna need another beer.
It is beer time.
Is that beer 30 already? Oh, damn.
So the final beer of the evening is, I had to look up some Oktoberfest facts, so we'll talk about that as well. But we'll talk about this beer first. From Tucker Brewing. So it is the Tucktoberfest. So Tucker Brewing Company, we discovered them a couple weeks ago. They make mostly just lagers. They don't make a lot of ales. I think they had one. We tried their only ale, the Hefeweizen.
Yeah. Ooh.
So
That's all right.
I'm going for the long glass tonight.
Oh, fuck. I opened it and like a little bit splattered on the ground.
Damn it, Hayley. I mean, she's a comedian, and that is funny.
Premature. That sounds a little premature to me.
Oh, yeah, definitely premature. It went all over.
Oh, that's pretty.
Definitely got that nice golden color.
It really does. That looks fantastic, and I can't quite see it in the camera, but it's super clear.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, it's like that orangey amber Oktoberfest color.
Yep.
Oh, it's so nice. All right, are we done
I'm
vamping? Is
excited
Hayley
about
back?
this. If they're like all about, because these people that make this beer studied in Europe, and they were, studied how to make beer over in Germany.
There, his face
It's got that
back
nice
up.
funk, like a funk that a good Oktoberfest will have, a good Marzen style. So
Yeah, it's like a log cabin kind of funk.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And this one is 5.4% ABV. Definitely that classic style. Let's get.
You know what? The bottle was right. It is quite toasty.
Yeah.
The can had it.
Well, it's got the roasted malts, definitely. This is good. This is light. This almost gives you like a tea or coffee aspect to it.
I get the tea for sure. I mean, I like that light. To me, it's a light wood funk, like a log cabin. But the you just get that kind of that light malt funk, a little, just a tiny bit of like brown sugar,
almost like fresh tobacco.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Not too bad. So
I also like it because I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. You like it? Speak.
But I want to interrupt and stuff. No, I like it because a lot of Oktoberfests have gone like, how can we make it also be slightly pumpkin spice or slightly, like they're adding a lot to what the beer traditionally is. This is a Marzen Oktoberfest beer. That's it, hands down. You want something that's just going to drink like that.
Yep.
It's not
something flashy, not something, hey, we're doing this.
Right.
But yeah, this is good. This is very like stripped down, very like a German style, like you would get.
You could definitely drink this all night. Like this would be fun.
Right.
Or for days. Those are my facts about Oktoberfest this week. So we know it's in Munich, Germany. There's the 6 breweries that are really only allowed to call themselves Oktoberfest, and It's in honor of Prince Ludwig, the Crown Prince of Bavaria. But it was actually his wedding is what the real Oktoberfest was for. His wedding to Princess Therese of the Saxony Hildburghausen, and that was on October 12th, 1810, and that was the first Oktoberfest. So what they did was they had drinking for days, and horse racing was the main event during the Oktoberfest. They just kept going, I guess, until they ran out of beer, and that was the big six Munich breweries are the ones that supplied the beer for the wedding, and that's why they are now the traditional breweries for Oktoberfest. So another fact I learned about it is it usually lasts about 16 days. That's the traditional. Starts sometime in mid-September and then goes usually no later than October 3rd.
See, I'd be falling off my horse on day 2 for sure.
Yeah. So those are your Oktoberfest facts tonight.
I heard you hit a glass.
Yes, that was pretty good, huh? Like a ding afterwards. It landed like flat up on top of the glasses.
Solid.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I think I drank beer too fast.
All right. So Hayley, so tell us, you were telling us that you've been on tour doing the stand-up. So tell us a little bit about that, like experiences with that and like the ups and downs of the road.
Yeah, I'd love to. So the longest, my two well, I guess they're kind of back to back. I guess the longest stretch of time that I was mostly on the road for was like 3 weeks, which is a lot. It's a lot. And there's two main, at the stage that I'm at, I'm not going to go out like solo and I'm headlining all of them. I'm more of a feature act. So I'll go with like another feature or a headliner, and we'll oscillate between splitting and, who gets to headline or whatever. And so the main people I've gone with was this great friend of mine, Jennifer McAuliffe. She's a headlining comedian. She's about to drop her first album soon. I met her at a comedy festival in Nashville. She's fantastic. Great Twitter. If you're on Twitter, you should follow her, Jennifer McAuliffe. She's a Canadian Toronto comedian, and we became very fast friends when we met at this comedy festival. And then the other person I would go on tour with is this other great comic who she spent some time in Atlanta for work for her day job, but it was just a temporary thing. But she's mostly out of the Midwest, so she spent like a really long stretch of time, like I want to say like 5 months, and we became cool and I saved her life. And then she was like, anything I can do to repay you for saving my life. I was like, arrange this tour for me and I'll come meet you in the Midwest. And we went on that tour, and that was fascinating. We went to, I literally did. We went to like Pittsburgh, Ann Arbor, Michigan. Like we went to like several different states. We went to Ohio, Michigan, other places.
Indiana.
Places.
Not Indiana.
I'm in Delaware.
Listen, honey, I'm not trying to be gay in Indiana anytime soon. Like, I tell you what.
I mean, I go used to go once a year till this year, but
to Indiana?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
I did Indiana last year, actually. I went to.
No, but a lot of my friends are a lot.
That's great.
But right. But it's.
I definitely am not trying to be gay and Jewish in Indiana anytime soon.
That's fair. That's fair. I actually, I have another story for post show for you about Indiana and specifically about the vice president. So.
Okay, I'm excited. Yeah, that's
John mooned him once.
Perfect example of a reason not to be gay in Indiana is the vice president. Perfect.
I think he's a reason for anything.
I heard he was super offended when he found out there was a transgender bathroom in his own house.
Yeah, it's a genderless bathroom in his own house. Gender neutral. He was like, they got me.
I'll tell you what, when you've been to the same place 100 times and all of a sudden they put up signs, the best thing you can do, like gender neutral signs for the restroom, is just get like a little folding chair and sit outside there and watch people go crazy. It's the most fun I've ever had. It's like the San Francisco Convention Center when they finally went gender neutral restrooms. There's a bench just like what, 20 yards maybe? Close enough you could just see everyone's faces still. Just walk up to the bathroom going.
See, this is another funny thing.
You should walk up there in your kilt one time, Sean, and do that. I'd take a picture from behind if you like.
What were you going to say, Hayley?
This is another thing I've noticed. When you go on the road, like if you're in like a more rural area or a less, certain types of areas, and they have like single person restrooms, just the kind where it's just a door that locks behind you. People, like women, will wait in a long as fuck line for the women's single restroom and I'll be like watching men go in and out of the other one, and I'm like, you guys, like, gender's fake. I don't know how to tell you this. I'll just like go in there real smooth and come right out. I'm like, okay, this is. I feel like and they'll give me looks for going in the men's restroom when it's just a toilet in there, which is the wildest thing. I was just like, wow, I could really set you guys free if we just talked.
There's dudes who like come out like zipping up your pants and that, or something like putting your suspenders back on.
What are you doing?
Don't go in there for 5 minutes.
Or I'll like come out of the men's room, and the guy will be like, he'll pass by me like he's doing math, like just like, what does this mean? And I'll be like, I'll tell you what it means. I'm not trying to wait. That's what it means.
That happened at Canoe with me and the female manager that I work with. We both were like checking something in the men's room, like how to like fix something on the toilet or something real quick. And we both come walking out of the men's room at the same time as a woman is coming down, and she like freezes and looks at us both like coming out of the men's room. And she's like, going to the ladies' room, and she's like, am I supposed to? And we're like, no, it's totally fine. But like the look of terror almost on her face that, I don't know.
Although I will say I'm not so bold as that. Like, I haven't been fully embarrassed by walking into a men's room when men were actually in there. I haven't advanced past that.
I feel like the next time I travel, I'm going to get some stickers made up that look like restroom signs, just like with whatever gender, and I'm just going to get random ones.
Yeah, just like make genders up. Like, this one's...
Yeah. Like, try to
just an elephant head on a stick body. You'd be like, what the hell is that? Start slapping them on. Employees only, I'll put it on that sign too.
Or like the Prince symbol.
Solid. I like that.
Yeah.
Our pockets are going to be so full.
But I'll tell you, one thing that was really weird about this tour in the Midwest was the thing about touring with somebody else that, you know, so she and I don't think I've mentioned her name, but she and I got on this tour and suddenly we found ourselves in a situation where we had sexual tension, which was very upsetting to remember / learn, because going on tour, the things you do in each city that you visit is very much like what you do on a date, you know? You're going to a museum and you're going to this nice public park and you're like eating meals together, and then sometimes we would end up sleeping in the same bed together, and it was and it was really funny because about midway through the trip it started to be like we would be making such intense eye contact with each other once we've been drinking or whatever that that other people would be like, should I go? Like, what is this
Who's
guy?
gonna break first?
People were very, like, we were just all mingling, and then all of a sudden, like, we'd hit the point where the drinks kicked in, and we'd be like, anyway, making small talk with other people, but staring at each other. It was a lot. It was a lot. One guy thought this was like some sort of invitation for a threesome. It was so weird. I was like, bro, nice try, but no. We're not even sleeping with each other. What makes you think you're invited when we have?
Yeah. Ooh,
and
I have an answer for
break that one first.
Like, we should break this open first. Like, we should be the ones breaking into this case, to use a beer metaphor. And it was so sad that, and I think about this now too, is, so it got to the point where I was like, okay, I'm going to start swiping on Tinder because this is a lot and I need an outlet. And, because we were like I said, sharing beds, going on basically dates. And I found this girl and we clicked, and, you know, everything that happens on a Tinder date happened. And this girl, I really put all of this energy that I had stored up from all of this touring, all this sexual tension, I really, really let it loose on her. And this poor girl basically fell in love with me. Like, I was like, oh, like it's just a normal Tinder meetup. The next day she's texting me like, can't stop thinking about you. Should we be pen pals? And I'm like, oh, honey.
Like, oh.
Wait, is that verbatim?
You're kind of a rebound. You're kind of a rebound.
Like, listen, yeah, kind of, yeah, exactly. I gave myself permission to, you know, use her because that's what the app is for. Like, to be frank. And, yeah, I mean, but everyone was so surprised at how well she took it when I was like, oh, yeah, I can't do what you're asking of me. Like, I'm not going to be your pen pal. She took it really well. Everyone was expecting her to become like some sort of stalker or anything, but she was fine. So hats off to her.
I can't help that I'm fixated. Did she really say pen pal?
Yeah, I'm wondering about the pen pal thing myself too, because that's
like, did you hook up with an 80-year-old
like
woman?
1950s.
That is my recap of it.
Okay, that's fine.
My understanding of what she said, if we're gonna get specific as to what she was saying, she was like, I don't know, I just want to stay in touch and ... I don't really know what I want from you, but like, can we stay in touch and keep talking? And I was like, no. No, I can't give you what you want.
I did too many weird things to you.
I did. That's true.
You can't meet anyone I know.
I did, dude.
Yeah.
The craziest thing is, okay, now I'm going into a little bit of a bit. So this is a very dirty joke. This is very, very dirty. Some people would say that because I'm a lesbian, because I've never had sex with a man, that I'm a virgin. But it's also like, I don't know about you, but I've never heard of any virgin who's had a full fist inside of a woman. Like, doesn't sound like a virginal activity. Doesn't sound like a virginal activity to me. I don't know what you define sex as, but I tell you what, I don't think the Jonas Brothers lost their purity ring inside of someone. So
I like to think they
call
did.
me Mother Teresa if you want. I guess.
But that means you get a gold star.
Well, what was the thing in Rockdale County, like the teenagers they found with the syphilis ring or whatever that they had, and the guys were telling these girls that they're still virgin if they only do anal.
I know all about this story because my ex was from Rockdale.
There you go. It's a real thing. Yes.
The lost generation of Rockdale County, which I guess implies that everybody above between a certain age in Rockdale County has done butt stuff, and we all just acknowledge that. It's just the thing.
Because you're still a virgin.
Yeah, they've got the rings on. They've got
You can still save it for your husband.
They're still better than all of us, which is fair. I think it's fair to say that they're better than us.
We need to start drinking some cocktails.
Right.
Yeah, this does sound like cocktail time. All right, who's going first
tonight, Sean?
I feel like your cocktail is more complicated, so I kind of want to watch yours.
Okay.
Is that cool?
That's fine. Let's watch. It's actually not that complicated at all.
Wait, actually, before that, do I shake it?
Yes. Well, I did, but if you kept it cold, you should be fine.
Okay, I really only said because I only have one shaker. I'm like, wait, you're going to get cream all over my drink. Oh, I don't want cream in my drink.
Oh, okay, so is it this thing and this thing go together?
No.
Not the beer bottle, the airline, kind of large airline bottle.
Just this.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
See.
I am going to shake mine now.
I'll tell you what, you talk about your cocktail. I'm going to grab an extra shaker really quick.
Oh, you don't have...
Shake it over ice? I can't go. I'm the guest. I'm the
star.
So. I guess I'll stay here.
All right, Hayley, I'm back. You go.
Well, it is a martini, so it is mostly vodka. But
all right, yeah.
See, she wanted to. All right, so my story about being a virgin.
Being a virgin? I was 28. I was 28, and
actually, what the movie The 40-Year-Old Virgin, like they have the whole like chest waxing scene. I've had my chest waxed more than once, and I'm not that hairy. I just had a girlfriend that really wanted to do it, and I'll be honest, like yeah, it does hurt. Yeah, no, you're hitting like the Austin Powers kind of thing.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
But the result is pretty good. Like it feels nice. It really does.
I would imagine it's better than shaving.
Yeah.
I'm for waxing, not shaving.
I think we're talking about two different things now, but seconded nonetheless.
Anyway, let's make this cocktail. So 1 3/4 ounce of. So I found this vodka. and it is Veil vodka. See if the light doesn't run. So I found a double espresso vodka, and the vodka itself is like has a little bit of sweetness to it. So you don't have to add any simple syrup or anything like that to make this drink a little bit sweeter. But I added 1 3/4 ounce of the espresso vodka. Then I added some Veil whipped cream vodka to that. So a 1/2 ounce of that. Again, it's got a nice little sweetness and creaminess up, but there's more. Oh shit, I forgot my coffee upstairs, my iced coffee. I may have to run upstairs and get something.
Drink it raw, Ian. Drink it raw.
Let's see if my lovely wife is watching. She might bring it down for me.
Hello. Yes.
This is a very high stakes way of
watch this. Watch it. Wasn't that cool how I did that? Anyway, so I'm still going up and getting it myself. Anyway, couple droppers of this coffee bitters that I made myself. So I made the Jamaican spice bitters last week, and I made a coffee bitters this week. And see the coffee bitters, that, and there is a little bit of Bailey's in this. So a 1/2 ounce of Bailey's Irish cream. And I'm going to go get the coffee. I'll be right back.
Tell you what, Ian, while you get the coffee, is it the last ingredient is the coffee?
The last ingredient is coffee, and it's like just the smallest bit.
I'm going to go ahead and shake and do a little taste. Is that cool?
Yeah, absolutely. Go.
Eye contact. Vicious eye contact. How is it, Hayley?
Oh, I'm very happy. I'm very happy. I'm very much enjoying this. Can you see it on my face?
Right.
I'm
so
you're glowing. You're glowing. Yes.
Sorry about that, people at home. Again, just another little 1/2 ounce of this. Not much. So I like to instead of using hot coffee, I like to put it in the fridge and let it chill for a while. That way you get more of the coffee flavor and it doesn't melt your ice down right away. Give it a little strain. I don't have any martini glasses for whatever reason yet, so I'm using the reservoir. Do we call this glass, Hayley, the reservoir? For obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe.
This one's definitely got some kick to it. This is that after dinner drink with dessert.
I do like the coffee flavor. Sorry.
No, and it won't. I feel like it won't take the, like if you're having it with dessert, it won't let dessert take the edge off.
Yeah, it won't be like make it the whole thing too rich. Yeah.
And that whipped cream vodka gives it some
kick.
Definite creaminess. The Bailey's as well.
See, this is where I'm getting excited because cocktails have become my little part of my little quarantine hobby. Is starting to get into cocktails. So this is great. Did you kind of formulate this yourself, or is this called something?
This is pretty classic. This cocktail, the coffee or espresso martini. But what makes it mine is really the bitters that I made for it. So the bitters I made with there's a little bit of cocoa nib, a little bit of molasses in it. So it gives the bitters kind of a mocha flavor to it, or a mocha essence to it. It's like when you smell it, you do get those chocolatey notes, but coffee definitely drives the bus on this one.
Yeah, the coffee.
What is making your own bitters like as a process? What does that mean?
So what you're doing is you're taking a spirit. So I used Nikolai for this one, which is a 190 proof spirit. So this is basically 95% alcohol. This is like your Everclear or anything like that. And I'll take what I made with this bitters. I did lots of coffee grounds. I ground with a mortar pestle and just kind of chopped them up, rough chopped them. Added a little bit of lemon rind, some molasses, and cocoa nib. And I chopped it, kind of got in there with the cocoa nib as well, and just poured this over the top of that and just let it sit for like 4 or 5 days in the fridge. You know, shaking it every day, you know. Then I strained all that out, and I wasn't actually happy with the product after that. Like, I felt like it was a little weak still. So what I did was I did lots more coffee, like 3 times as much coffee as I did the first time, and then poured that bitters over that coffee and just let that go for another week.
So it's kind of like its own little cold brew situation as well. It's
kind of. But it's almost like a super infusing a high alcohol spirit. So you can't sit and drink something like this more than a couple drops.
Let me just put that down, actually. You make a
Clearly we don't party enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's certainly been a while for me in terms of like, I mean, just looking at my side table where I have like 5 cans of a shaker and an empty bottle. It's like really that.
Who was over last night? Oh, that was just me by myself.
Right. I was doing a show. People were watching. Oh my goodness. Does that mean it's my turn?
So Sean, you've got some for us though too.
Right. So we both independently came up with a cocktail with your coffee bitters, which I so nicely wrote coffee bitters on mine because otherwise it's just another white labeled thing in my cabinet. I have a lot of these.
Yeah.
So I went a slightly I went a little more raw in my direction. Now, Hayley, if you only have 1 shaker, you can go ahead and just pour this on the rocks and give it a shake up your bottle. Just make sure everything's nice and mixed. And then pour it over the rocks and just give it a really good stir. I'm going to use a shaker just because I really want to get everything agitated and combined up. But it's going to get served in a rocks glass with a little bit of salt. So if you have like a little rimming dish, you can use that. You actually don't need to.
If you're a professional rimmer yourself.
Ian is a professional rimmer. Ian, show us your technique. I'm waiting, Ian. There we go. Yeah. That's why I get up in the morning. So I'm going to go ahead and change my camera to the cocktail cam. Woo.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, all right. So, and I did look this up because I was kind of curious, is that you don't necessarily have to use lime juice to rim. It's just what's used in bars now. Like it's just kind of become a standard. But there's nothing that says you have to. You can use water. You can use saliva. You can use all sorts of fluids. So, hey,
we're trying something else.
This is the regular show. Calm down. I also haven't been to one of those bars yet, so if you have any addresses, let me know. All right, so nice and rimmed. And I'm going to just get some ice in my glass. I probably should invest in an ice scoop at some point. But oh well. And for my cocktail, this is going to be 2 dauber squeezes of Ian's bitters. So it gets like, I don't know, like a third of the way full. I'm actually going to put one in the other mixing glass there. That's going to be 2 ounces of rye whiskey. I used a little Old Forester this time. 1 ounce of Lillet Blanc. The original recipe, I actually used Cokie Americano, and my liquor store didn't have any today. So this is going to be a little drier than the actual recipe. I would say 1 ounce of Cokie is still the best.
I'm comparing.
Ian's comparing for me. And then half an ounce of maple syrup. This honestly is based on one of my favorite like brunch drinks, which is just maple syrup, bourbon, and coffee. But Ian's bitters actually take some of that coffee taste and take some of that sweetness from the maple syrup. So I don't want to make it too sweet. So that's actually why I'm using rye, because it adds a good spicy note to it. So that's in there. Shake that all together so the maple syrup gets nice and combined. Oh, sorry, Hayley. Yeah, it's not a twist off. Saw her going for it.
Use your teeth.
I was just taking this chance to find the bottle opener.
Go for it. So shake it up, get everything agitated, and then pour it over the fresh ice in your salted rim. And also the salts I'm using in here is smoked sea salt. So that's kind of smokiness should also go really well with the maple syrup. Well, actually, really, and the coffee and the whiskey. It's all supposed to work together. Here we have our little cocktail. I'm going to switch back to the front view so we can see each other enjoy. That's a pretty cocktail right there. Actually, they're all prepping and doing their stuff still.
So
I'm gonna go ahead
Sean, just use pancake syrup with this, or?
If I had it, I would have used maple syrup. To be totally and completely honest, I used Log Cabin. Traditional rich taste.
Use
high
this.
fructose corn
I
syrup.
got some of this.
You've got what I rather would have been using.
You should have told me. I would have gave you some. I would have brought you some over.
Well, now I feel like a total ding dong. I'm still gonna take a picture of my cocktail though. Instagram, yeah, woo. I actually do think this looks like a really pretty cocktail. I'm kind of excited how this looks. So I'm gonna go ahead and taste it since y'all are fishing up, and I think Hayley passed out. So
I'm finishing
up. No, we got her.
I'm like, this is for you, Hayley.
Pour one out.
Didn't even make it to the second cocktail.
All right, that's starting to hurt my throat.
All right, I'm gonna do the comparison here too. The Pepsi challenge.
Maple syrup hits right at the end. How you feeling, Ian? What do you think?
No, I think I should have probably stirred this drink a little better first.
That's also weird following a much sweeter cocktail with this one, but
yeah.
Right. You should have been the headliner. Damn it. Actually, now that I'm a couple sips in, I like it.
I don't really see too much difference in the two, to be honest with you. With the
between the Cokie and the Lillet.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Cool. The Lillet is a little bit darker in color.
Right.
But
Lillet, by the way.
Lillet.
All right. Well, then, if anyone decides
Cokie.
to make it, you can do an ounce
Cokie.
of Cokie or an ounce of Lillet. I think Cokie's a little sweeter to me, so I Oh yeah, sorry, Hayley. This is all booze.
Yeah, this definitely has some fire to it. It'll put Hayley to say.
See, but the first one is probably just as potent, but masks it a little bit better.
That's
a little bit more of
true.
your date rape trying to drink.
Bailey's flavored vodka that I know is less than 40 proof or 80 proof.
Yeah, but when it's all that, no, this vodka is, yeah, you're right, it's 35%. So it's 70 proof. This vodka is.
I know my vodka.
Well.
Wow, this will do things.
So,
Right.
Hayley, we got to ask, because we kind of put it to the test last week, which one do you like better?
Listen.
Yeah, we're going to put it bluntly like that, Sean. Bluntly.
Well,
How's
you
it
know,
coming?
I'm someone who likes it sweet, so it's gonna be the milky sweet one. It's really unfair.
Sorry, Sean. I will give you, Sean, points on this one though, because I do like this one. I feel like this is really good. This is, you got originality on me on this one, definitely by far.
I will tell you, I have tasted. I've tasted like a 15-year-old scotch, and this reminds me of it.
Yeah.
I also didn't enjoy drinking 15-year-old scotch, so so it's just not fair. I am no impartial judge at all.
How can I put this? You phrase that complimentary put down so well that
Thank you.
I feel like it pays homage to both your craft as well as your upbringing.
Thank you. Wow, that really touched my heart, and I hope that's how we end this show.
I think that is a solid way to at least end the live stream. We always record for a few more minutes for the Patreon.
Yeah,
Yes,
let's hang
S's.
out for a little bit if you're cool.
So before we go, Hayley, we did put your Venmo, Hayley Ellman, it's on our description. It's where to tip you, to support you.
Thank you.
So we call this segment Shameless Plugs.
Shameless plugs, yes.
Shameless plugs.
All right, so is
Tell
there
us
anything you'd like
how
to
we can
promote?
make you better, how we can help you get money. Promote yourself.
Well, you know, definitely follow me on all the platforms you're on. You know, it's simply at Hayley Ellman across all platforms, so it's very easy to find me. Definitely like my Facebook page and follow me on Instagram, especially Twitter. And also my sketch team, Mighty Shorts, does shows at Ponce City Market, socially distanced outdoor shows. So if you're in the mood for that kind of thing, occasionally I will drop in and do a little set as well. So that's where you can find me right now. Otherwise, you can keep an eye on those social media channels, and eventually I'll have other good things to share that is in the pipeline right now, like my live stream show, and like live stream shows and other goodness as well.
Rock on. Excellent. And normally I have a cheat sheet note card where I can talk about, oh, was that I got more, or was that this is awesome?
That was just me just throwing deuces up. That was me being a couple drinks in and just being like, yeah. Like,
Mission accomplished.
So,
feeling the vibe.
any hoozle, you can find us, of course, on Facebook Live if you're watching us right now. But if you're not, we're on YouTube as The Beery Traveler. Look for that fancy TBT logo. We're on Instagram as, this is why I always have a cheat sheet. _beer_traveler. Twitter, Beery_traveler. Patreon, Beery_traveler. And of course, you can always email us, beer@thebeerytraveler.beer. And of course, we're our website, thebeerytraveler.beer. I think that's everything. Of course, we do have a Patreon. Thank you to our first and currently only subscribers, the Atrocity Girl.
Yes.
We love you. We're gonna have. They are awesome. It is a band, so
Yeah, you're out of Seattle.
it's not just a pronoun
Even
thing.
cooler, man. Even cooler.
No, 4 ladies out of Seattle with a rock band, and we're supposed to be doing a hot wing challenge eventually, but we're trying to get hot sauces to each other, which is
Oh, really?
proven
You
more
didn't tell me
difficult than I
this.
thought.
I didn't know about the hot sauce
I
challenge.
sent you a text about this
You probably
last
did.
week.
You know I'm
Who's
terrible
not
about this
checking
shit.
the Slack channel? Guys.
I'm gonna enter the hot sauce challenge.
We moved to Discord.
All right.
So
We're getting
anywho,
out of here. We're
Thank
past
you.
time, aren't we? We're all right. We don't
well,
have
we're
a
right
time.
about there.
We don't have a curfew around here. Anyway.
You got the time.
Yeah. Anyway. So we're always looking for good times and great beers. My name's Ian. This is Sean. Always as Friday. Thank you so much for Hayley to join us this Friday until next Friday. I mean, Sean.
Tomorrow night,
travel.
the Highlander
Have a good
special
night.
show.
Thanks. Yes. Oh, yes. Special show tomorrow night. I
Right.
almost forgot about that.
I know.
We are
This is why I
doing
always have a note card. We're doing a special
we are
live
doing
stream.
a CD release party for
Palace. And we're doing it live from the Highlander in Atlanta, the Highlander Bar and Grill. So 6:30 we should be going live. We're going to be doing interviews with the bands, the owners, the promoters, doing a little bit of beer tasting, and that'll lead straight into the whole CD release party and show starting at 7:00. We'll be live streaming it on our Facebook page. They'll be live streaming it through their at least Facebook event page, because that's how I got the links for everything. But so we'll both be doing it. You can watch us on either, but please tune in, and or you can socially distance at their bar while we're in the venue side.
Yeah. Fun times.
Great beers.
All right.